Hello students, in the previous class we have seen the column chromatography and thin layer chromatography. Today we are going to discuss about high pressure liquid chromatography. So here, generally this high pressure liquid chromatography was discovered in 1973. It came into existence in 1973. So which is the advanced technique we are using this one nowadays also. So which can be easily separated by using this technique, a mixture of components to individual components. Okay, so here we are having one more technique also, that is gas liquid chromatography. In this we are going to use only liquid components and solid components. We are not using gas components. Why? Because the gas chromatography is a separate here to eliminate the gas molecules. So coming to here, high pressure liquid chromatography, it is an old method, old system we had came in 1973, and again in 2009 this technique was modified, which is presently using in the markets now. Okay, so then what is HPLC? So the HPLC is nothing but here, it is a high pressure liquid chromatography. So means what? We are giving more pressure to the sample components, so to separate the molecules. That one we call it as high pressure liquid chromatography. High pressure or high performance we are going to say. So means what here? The pressure whatever it is there, we are giving more pressure to the components of the mixture. That one we call it as high pressure liquid chromatography. So now let us go into here principle. So let us see what is the principle of high pressure liquid chromatography. So we know the column chromatography. Okay, in column chromatography different types of columns we are using. In that column chromatography, what happens in column chromatography? Sorry for the disturbance. In column chromatography we are using what there? We are using adsorbent as a stationary phase. Okay, and mobile phase will be the solvent. The solvent will be what here? Mobile phase. So it is inserted in column, right? The column, to support the material we are using the column. Here we are having cotton and sand. To this we are adding what? Adsorbent phase. A sample of mixture is there. Again we are adding what? Mobile phase. So this is about column chromatography. The same thing follows to the HPLC also. So here the principle mainly depends upon the adsorption chromatography. So what we can say here, the principle whatever it is there, it is going to depend on what here? Adsorption chromatography. Okay, so here in this we are taking stationary phase adsorbent like silica or aluminum. So here in this method the separation in which stationary phase is contained in a column. This is the column we are using. For this we are going to use high pressure a pump to the solvent molecule. From the solvent molecule we are going to use high pressure, that is mobile phase. The mobile phase travel through this pressure to the sample. So this is the basic principle we are going to use here. Now what happens in HPLC? It will undergo adsorption and also partition and also ion exchange and size exclusion chromatography. So the HPLC depends upon these four principles: the adsorption principle, partition principle, ion exchange principle, and also size exclusion principles. Okay, so means what? The flowing of the particles means with high pressure, when you keep a pump here, the pressure will pass. So automatically what happens here? Because of that, the pump will flow the pressure here. Now here we are having liquid chromatography and also HPLC chromatography. So now let us see here diagram, general diagram. I have taken a solvent, reservoir, which is a mobile phase. Different types of, we can take 2, 3, 4 like that. We can take mixed solvents and which is attached to a gradient device. Gradient device is nothing but here the gradient device which increases the flow of solvent. The gradient device what will do? It will increases the solvent, flow of solvent. Okay, and after that it is inserted to a pressure pump. It is inserted to a pump. So this pump per minute, how much ml? 1 to 2 ml per minute it is going to occupy at a temperature 400 to 600 atmospheric temperature. Okay, at a pressure, sorry, not temperature, at a pressure 400 to 600 pressure, the pump can take 1 to 2 ml per minute. Okay, so means what? 2 ml of the solvent it is going to take, and it is pumping at a pressure what here? 400 to 600 atmospheric bar. Now it is inserted to the column. This one inserted to what? Column, which is containing of here sample injector. Okay, so what is the principle mainly here happening here? See here, we are taking a mobile phase. The mobile phase is attached to gradient device. So the gradient device is nothing but what? Which increases the flow of the solvent. So the mobile phase, whatever it is coming, so it is increasing the flow of the solvent, and here, and it is passing through the pump. The pump, how much it can take? For 400-600 atmospheric pressure per minute. Per 1 minute, it is going to take 1 to 2 ml solution only. Then it is passed to the pressurized solution is going to pass through the column. So after passing the column, this is the column which is containing a stationary phase. The stationary phase may be here silica gel, or we can take here alumina powder. So these are the things we are taking as a stationary phase. Okay, so this stationary phase containing sample means this column is already consist of sample injector, means you are going to place a sample almost 15 to 20 grams per minute. You can place the sample 15 to 20 grams of this sample. Okay, mixture of the components we are going to inject here. So after injecting what here, then there will be data processor. There is a data processor. One data processor is, this data processor is nothing but here, whenever the separation is going to start, okay, so here what happens, this data processor consists of detector and recorder, which is a chromatogram. It will give peaks like this. So now what happens here, this data processor will occupy two types, that is detector. So whenever the separation is going to start, it is directly go to data processor and it will give the values. So basing upon these values, the recorder will give the peaks. We don't know the sample how much. For example, if you got like this. So if in your sample, if you are having A, B, C, D components. So these are the components you are having. Whenever it starts separating to individual components, it will pass to the data processor. Then basing upon their values, it is going to give, and you can determine the concentration of this solution. Okay, so means what here, we can determine A, we can determine B, C, D. So means what, whatever peak it is giving, it is a D. So the peak is going to get like this. The sample is having the different mixtures. So this is nothing but the principle of the HPLC. Now here we are having different types of applications, advantages, what is the use of the HPLC also. So now generally we should know basic terms here. A solvent including pumps here. First of all, what we are knowing, a solvent is injecting to the pump. Okay, next what we are doing, we are introducing sample to the column. To the column we we are introducing. Then what happens after that? It is containing detector and recording system. In this we are having isocratic, and also this solvent consists of isocratic and gradient. So isocratic is nothing but what? Which is a same solution. At how much temperature you increase, the same solution is going to pass. Okay, at a constant temperature, the solution is going to pass. Then what is the gradient? If you increase the temperature, automatically the solvent is going to flow. So this is nothing but isocratic and gradient for the separation of the system. So here, which type of separations we are going to use here? Generally for here to separate polar and non-polar compounds, to separate, these are the applications of HPLC we are discussing. It will separate polar and non-polar components from HPLC, and also it will separate polymers like polystyrene, okay, and also polyteflon. So these are the polymers it is going to separate, and also it will separate, this can be used in natural and synthetic drugs, in pharmaceutical. So this is a preparative method also we can say. Why? Because it can identify the compound, it can purify the compound, and it can prepare the compound. So the HPLC can identify the compound, prepare the compound, and also purify the compound. So and also it can be used in body fluids for identification of drugs in body fluids. It can be used, and also for separation of coal and oil products. It can be used for preservatives of antioxidants. Okay, that one also it can be used, and also for proteins, egg white. Proteins consist of egg white. So egg white means if you add any mixture in that, it is going to separate the egg white like that. So these are the things it is going to separate. So these are the applications we are going to use. And coming to here, the advantages of HPLC is nothing but it is a very fast and separation. What are the advantages we can say? It brings very fast and efficient separation we can say. And also here continuous monitoring. The main advantage of this is nothing but what here? Continuous monitoring of column system. And also it can separate very complex mixture, components of a very complex mixture. It is a quantitative measurement we can say here. Quantitative means we can know the quality of this one. Okay, and it is having only non-volatile components. Non-volatiles means, as we know, only liquid and solid components only we can use. We can't use gas components. Volatile means which can easily evaporate. So those type of components we cannot use here. Okay, only liquid and solid components are used. It can be used in both aqueous and non-aqueous samples also. Okay, and also it can be used for repetitive and reproducible. So the HPLC can be used as a repetitive. Repetitive means it can give the again compound, and it can also reproduce the compound. So this is nothing but advantages, applications, and principle of the HPLC. So by this we have completed HPLC technique. The HPLC is nothing but what? Which is applying high pressure to the mobile phase. That one we call it as HPLC. Thank you.